keep thinking things would change, but what if I told you history is on repeat? This isn't just history, it's a cycle. Jim Crow became mass incarceration. Protests became hashtags. Oppression just got rebranded. We keep thinking things would change, but what if I told you history is on repeat? This isn't just history, it's a cycle. Jim Crow became mass incarceration. Protests became hashtags. Oppression just got rebranded. We keep thinking things would change, but have they? If history keeps repeating itself, then what are we missing? We talk about unity in our community. We talk about loving each other. We talk about loving ourselves. But is this enough? And if not, what comes after love and unity? Because if we are not intentional about our progress, history would just keep repeating itself. For Black History Month, I know we usually speak on the great Black people from the past who contributed their amazing talents and skills to society. But for this Black History Month, I wanted to use our history to connect to our present, and better yet, show that it could be a blueprint for our future. So for every week this month, I have spoken on unity and love. If you haven't seen those videos, check them out. Don't get me wrong, love and unity are powerful, but by themselves, they won't magically address deeper issues. Other communities have unity for sure. Other communities aren't just unified, they have structured systems that guide their success. For example, there seems to be some unspoken rule that other communities set up their businesses in our neighborhoods, leaving us little choice but to spend our money with them, while they do nothing in return for our neighborhoods. Meanwhile, we fight to get business loans, often denied, while others seem to get them with ease. There also seems to be another unspoken rule that gives other communities free rein to degrade and speak negatively about us publicly via media, etc., in an attempt to get on the good side of those in power. And no one sees or seems to care how this causes tangible harm to us. But even beyond the unity other communities have, they also have systems in place. Is there agreed upon systems that say, hey, there's less competition in the Black community because they don't get business loans like that, so let's open up our businesses in their communities? It's their systems that tell them, hey, everybody knows who's running the show, and in order for us to progress, we need to make it clear that we are on their side. And the best way to do that is to put those Black people down. They're all on the same page. They all have a goal for their people: progress. They are under no illusions. They see what this world is about: having power. They realize the best way to do that is to be unified and to operate under systems that will help them survive. Black Americans have built systems. Our culture itself is a system. The problem? We don't control the wealth or the industries that profit from it. Think about it. From our influence in entertainment to the trends we set in fashion, we are the culture. But without ownership, culture alone doesn't build power. Do we own the industries? Do we control how the wealth flows? No. These are the kinds of things that matter. These are the kinds of things that allow for any level of power in a society that equates wealth with influence and control. Economic power is very important, but it's not the end-all be-all. In addition to economic systems, I'm sure that others would agree that in the social climate we are in, there is a need for us to develop educational systems to teach real Black history to our children and grandchildren. Education is also needed to improve our financial literacy so that we can pass this on to our children and grandchildren as well. And with hundreds of years of generational trauma, we most certainly need mental and emotional support systems. We can also add political and legal systems to our list. These systems will be able to protect and fight for our interests. For instance, we could develop Black PACs or political action committees and establish legal defense funds and Black lobbyist groups. Prominent author, educator, and economic development strategist Dr. Claud, renowned for his work in advocating for the economic empowerment of Black Americans, said in his book, PowerNomics, The National Plan to Empower Black America, quote, "We could greatly benefit from practicing group politics predicated on group-based wealth, land, businesses, and other resources," unquote. Furthermore, he says, quote, As long as other groups remain primarily interested in their respective groups and placing their interests first, Black people must be equally as protective and interested in our own group, unquote. This aligns with the fact that other communities have systems in place, and these systems are for the sole purpose of benefiting the group. And why is benefiting the group important? Well, for a lot of reasons. But one major reason is the obligation we have for the next generation. What do we want our kids and grandkids to inherit from us? Will they inherit financial independence, land, businesses, and power? Or will they inherit more debt, more trauma, and more struggle? Will they see their history being taught accurately? Or will they only hear watered down versions designed to make them complacent? Will they see unity as just a concept? Or will they see real examples of Black people building together and winning together? Many of us may be living in survival mode. And I know that living in survival mode daily can make it hard for us to see that far ahead. Living in survival mode is like being lost in a pitch black room. You can feel your way around, but you have no idea where you're going or if you're about to walk into a wall. We don't want our kids and grandkids stumbling through life lost in the dark. We owe them more than just survival. We owe them the tools to thrive. Our history has shown us the kind of people we are. It has shown us that in spite of determined opposition, we are still able to reach down and pull out our determination and find ways to overcome. We have learned to lean on our ingenuity, and when there seems to be no way, we make a way. We will turn something that was meant to be harmful to us into something of beauty. In other words, we know how to turn shit to sugar, as the old people used to say. But our history has also shown us that there are some changes we need to make if we want to have a future. So what can we actually do? Well, one thing being that society values money, we can shift our mindset around money. We can start thinking about wealth the way other communities do. You've heard me say it before, and I'll say it again. Support Black businesses as much as possible. Supporting Black business isn't just a nice idea, it's a strategy. What if every Black person committed to spending 20% of their money at Black-owned businesses? That alone could shift a lot of money into our community, probably billions. We could also invest regularly and also start investment clubs with like-minded family members or people in our community. Investment clubs are a powerful way to pool resources. Instead of waiting for opportunities, we create them. Another thing we can do, which is something I feel strongly about, is protect our narratives. Those who control our image control how we are seen. Being seen as negative members of society has real-world negative effects on our lives. We can push back on negative narratives about us. We can support Black-owned media that is striving to report issues that affect us so that we can have the knowledge needed to challenge misinformation, shape how we are perceived, and make informed decisions that allow us to take action where it matters most. Also, we can break the cycle of survival mode by boosting our financial literacy, emotional intelligence, and power building so that we can teach the young ones coming up behind us. Finally, we can increase our knowledge on the workings of politics so we can make moves beyond just voting Black faces in the places of political spaces. That hasn't helped us progress. But with the knowledge we attain, we can take that power into our own hands as a group to be taken seriously and be heard. At the end of the day, we are the ones who have to build the future we want to see. These are my opinions and thoughts based on things I've read over the years. But listen, I get it. Some of these things aren't easy to do. I've tried getting folks together for an investment club, for instance. And let's just say it didn't exactly take off. But that's the thing. We have to keep looking for ways to make these ideas work. Yes, love and unity sound good, but they mean nothing without action. We can't afford to leave the next generation with nothing but struggle. It's time to ask ourselves, what are we really leaving behind? And more importantly, what are we going to do about it? And if history has shown us one thing, it's this. When we decide to change, nothing can stop us. So let me know in the comments, what do you think is the biggest challenge holding us back as a community? Thanks for watching. See you next time.